In this video, we'll talk about whether a U.S. citizen can refuse to sign certain paperwork to help his immigrant spouse to remain in the United States and get an extension of his or her green card. Watch this video and you know the answer to that. Hey everybody, my name is Jacob Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney based in San Diego, California. In this video, we'll talk about whether a U.S. citizen can refuse to sign certain paperwork to help his immigrant spouse to remain in the United States and renew his or her green card. But before that, if you're here for the first time, please subscribe to our channel, click that bell to be notified of new videos. We try to get videos every week. And also if you're Instagram, follow us on Instagram. We have our 2 accounts listed here. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below or email me. We have my information in the description of this video. So the question that we are addressing here is from one of our subscribers that also posted it on our comments as well as emailed that question to me. So the question is, the person is a U.S. citizen. He got a green card for his wife, a conditional green card for 2 years. And now they're about to renew their conditional green card, but they're having problems in their marriage. He wants to file for divorce, and he does not want to help her file Form I-751 to remove the conditions. And the question is, can he actually get her deported, first of all, by not signing the forms? And in addition to not signing the forms, can he actually force USCIS to get her removed from the United States? So, first of all, nobody can force the USCIS or ICE to do anything. They will decide who they want to deport. They have their rules, their regulations. U.S. citizens cannot force the government to do anything. Now, what the U.S. citizen can do is, first of all, file for divorce and not be with a foreign national. And second of all, they can refuse to sign the I-751 to remove the conditions because they're no longer with that spouse. So in this case, what's going to happen is that if the person who's filing the I-751, they're going to have to find another way to be able to do that. So the law allows people that are going through divorce or they're no longer together with the U.S. citizen spouse to actually file the I-751 on their own, as long as they can show that it was a good marriage, there was a good marriage waiver exception, as long as it was a real bona fide marriage, and now that marriage ended in divorce and they have the divorce decree already filed and the judgment is already there, they're able to file a waiver based on the 751 form filing. Or if there was an abuse in the relationship, there's also an option for an abuse kind of option in the 751 filing. So there are options for the foreign national to not use the U.S. citizen to be able to file the removal of conditions jointly. Now, the U.S. citizen, which is the person asking the question, is, I guess, angry with the spouse, and they want to make sure that she is deported from the United States by not signing the form. So, again, no one can actually force the government to get anybody deported because they're looking at the things, at the totality of the circumstances. They're looking at whether this marriage was a bona fide marriage. They also want to prevent situations where U.S. citizen spouses are abusing their immigrant spouses by forcing them to do things, and if they won't do it, they're not going to sign paperwork. So there's a reason why it works like that, because the law is protecting both the U.S. citizen and the foreign national. The U.S. citizen is protected because if they feel there was some sort of fraud, they were taken advantage by their foreign national, they can write a letter to the government. And we had cases where we had people come to us and they wanted some advice, and I say, well, you can just write to the USCIS and explain your position, and you can put the case number there, the A number, all the information about the foreign spouse, and just put your story out there, and then when the time comes for his or her interview, they probably will have that in the file, and they may be able to use it and say, hey, your U.S. citizen spouse told us the following. How can you rebut that, or what is your version of the situation? So there are things that the U.S. citizen spouse can do: put the government on notice, file for divorce, refuse to sign the forms, and that's about it. But nobody can force anybody to be deported because there are rules in this country and they want to make sure that people are treated fairly. And if something happened, they'll deal with them when they come to the interview. And again, when the foreign national will file the I-751 on their own, they'll have an interview, and in that interview they'll ask them, well, why was there a divorce, or what happened, and how do you explain what the U.S. citizen spouse is saying about you? So once they look at the whole scenario, they'll make a decision if a green card should be warranted and if an extension should be given at that time when the applicant files the I-751 on their own. So to answer the question, no U.S. citizen can force anybody to get deported, but they can do is refuse to sign forms and report any incidents to the UCIS for the government to take action if they believe there was fraud or something illegal happened. So hopefully you find this information useful. Post a comment below with your questions and let me know what other videos you would like for me to make. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.